Hi and welcome to the Holistic Podcast, your source of health, harmony, and happiness. And today I'm honored to speak with Ian Morris, who has an incredible story of how he started creating these truly epic, unique frequency music tracks. He healed himself and he wanted to share the knowledge and gifts with others. So to this day, his goal is to reach as many people as he can with his frequency-minded music. And we will get to know all about it in this interview. His music is used by many people all over the world for healing, releasing trauma and pain, healing addiction, and many physical ailments as well. So, hi, Ian, and welcome to the Holistic Podcast.
Hello, thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here.
I'm excited to talk to you about this topic because it's one of my favorite. It runs in the family. Namely, my beloved husband is a musician, so he is doing also some sound healing. So would you be so kind and share with us how you started with creating this type of music and explain to our viewers and listeners what is frequency-minded music?
Yeah, so I guess we'll start with what is frequency-minded music. The music is a super powerful tool, in general. It's such a spiritual connection. Whenever someone really resonates with a song, whether it's the lyrics or the mood of the song, but then you have just progressions of the song, like the chord structure and the layout of the song. There's so many different things that can touch people and just expose them to new perspectives and new ideas. And so, like Bob Marley, every time you listen to it at some point in time, everything's going to be all right. It's really hard to be in a bad mood and listen to Bob Marley music, So music is a great mood enhancer from the get-go. It doesn't matter if frequency's there. And it doesn't matter what genre, as long as the person has some kind of connection to the feeling or the lyrics or the emotions. There's going to be a new facilitation of mood or energy. At sporting events, people use music and tempo to pump up the crowd. In meditation, we're doing the reverse. We're using it to step people down and to relax people. So music in general is such a powerful tool, but when you add the science and the frequency in tandem, when you pair those together, it's such a powerful tool. It's just like putting icing on the cake. It's taking you to the next level of healing, of deeper connection, and also of understanding. A lot of these events we're trying to teach and to showcase and utilize all the different healing powers of sound healing in tandem with like Reiki, massage, yoga. It can pair with so many different things. So it's just another addition in the toolbox for a lot of the practitioners. So frequency-minded music, what that means is that right from the beginning, we're setting an intention, whether that's working with a chakra or body organ or a planetary frequency. So we're setting an intention and we're setting a focus on what we're wanting to target in the body with the music. So it's kind of like a reverse engineering. You're starting with the person or the focus or the intention, and then creating the song around that. So that a lot of times means that you have to tune the instruments differently, and you're also going to focus on creating a consistent, tone in the underlying song or in the song itself for the entire duration of the track. And so that's very different, in pop music and folk music and things that are more entertainment based. You have about like a verse, chorus, and a bridge, and there's always changes going on. So it's a way that you have to be creative as a musician to make it art and make it entertainment, but also keeping the baseline of the science and the focus and the intention all wrapped together. And so that's what frequency-minded music is it's made for healing and release. It's not for, entertainment. I mean, although it can be entertaining, the real focus is release and healing.
So you mentioned that you need to tune your instruments differently. And I'm a little bit curious, which type of frequency, or when you tune them, it's 440 or 432 hertz that you are using?
Yeah, so we use 432, but we also use 444, which is where you'll find the solfeggio scale.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the planetary frequencies are in standard tune at 440. They're in the body organ frequencies. You really have to. It's going to depend on what body organ you're targeting. But yeah, so we're pulling from Royal Raymond Rife's work, with the
Yes.
Rife machine. We're
Yeah.
also pulling from the planetary frequencies, the Schumann resonance, as well as the solfeggio scale. And so, the solfeggio scale is really comes from the Gregorian chants and a lot of the monks that were doing that work early on. And then it just, was brought to the public by Dr. Leonard Horowitz and his team. And then, Pythagoras is really the godfather, I guess, of mathematics and sound and, music as we know it today. And, that's really where the Schumann resonance and all of that, stems from that work and that same tuning, that A equals 432. So we're pulling from all of those in our work with Listening to Smile.
It is very interesting because for example, for those of our listeners and viewers who do not know about Dr. Rife, I warmly recommend them that they do a little bit of research. They can just search on the internet, because he was called the man who cured cancer, and he basically used radio frequency, so frequency therapy, in order to cure people from cancer, among other things, because every living cell, every living organism has its own frequency. It's Einstein who proved that everything is energy, and energy has a specific frequency of vibration. So when you know exactly what that vibration is, you can tune it to it, and you can do something which is very harmonious with it. Or you can also use it, for example, with the ultrasound, in order to break gallbladder stones or kidney stones. You don't break the kidneys, you break only the stones, because you're able to tune into exactly that frequency. So this you can do also with music, and therefore it has healing effects. So there is a whole science behind it, and it's quite good to know, because about music, it can be music which is very harmonious and has very positive effects, but music has been also used as a form of torture in some of the prisons. They were playing a certain type of music, and I will not say it, so I will not make angry some people, but they were using a certain type of music which is not harmonious, simply to torture people. They were playing that music over and over again. It was a form of torture. So it matters what type of music you listen to, because it affects you even if you do not realize it. Music is making the air vibrate, and it goes through your body, so it affects not only your physical moods but also your inner organs and health. So it's very important what you listen to, isn't it true?
Yes, exactly. And a lot of the patients and clients that we're working with, when they first come, one of the first questions we ask them is, how much do you listen to music? And they'll say, like, frequency music. And I'll say, no, just music in general. And what we found was it was around 78% of the people, like, that answered that question would say, I don't have time for it. I've stopped listening to music. I'm too busy. And those were the people that were having a lot of the issues and struggles with their health, that I really believe that music is such a cornerstone in the foundation, of just our self-care practice, as well as just staying healthy and balanced, because you can use music to shake it out, dance it off, to expel energy. You can use it while you're cooking, while you're cleaning. It's something that uplifts your mood. Like if you get up in the morning and you're groggy, you can put on some kind of, pumped up music or some happy music, and it just really changes your whole day. And so people take it for granted, I think, a lot, that music can be such a powerful tool for facilitating a new mood.
And about this with playing music in your home, again, the sound makes the air vibrate, so it will affect you even if you don't pay attention to it. So you can have music in the background basically all the time, just pay attention what kind of music you use, because if it is harmonious music, you will have beneficial effects. If it's a destructive music, you will all of a sudden find yourself in a bad mood and you don't know why. It's because of the music you are listening into the background. And also one of the mediums, one of the biggest mediums of times, Edgar Casey, I believe, I don't know if I'm quoting him correctly, but he says that the medicine of future will be sounds or music.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, Edgar Casey was a powerhouse, wasn't he?
Definitely.
Yeah.
As well as Rife with his discoveries, and also Tesla, because I think Rife used a lot of Tesla's discoveries and inventions.
Yeah.
What are you able to do for the people that you work with the help of music? So what is the range of help you can offer with frequency-minded music?
Yeah. Well, the very first thing that we target with everyone that we're working with is stress, because stress is the number one leading cause to the downgrading of the immune system, as well as just overall health. You know, if you're staying stressed all of the time, you're depleting your immune system, you're depleting the functions of the body to give 100% to the organs and the functions for filtering and, you know, for just cleansing and keeping the body healthy. So that's the first thing we really target is stress. But we've also, you know, over the last 5 years worked with everything from autism, cancer, and that's everything from breast cancer, thyroid cancer, colon cancer, to working with people that have learning disabilities, people that are having high anxiety or stress. And so all of that is just getting to the root cause of where that stress is coming from, giving people new mindfulness techniques such as intentions, positive affirmations, things to basically put a new perspective in their focus, and then giving them breath work and mindfulness techniques that are paired with the music, and then just 10 minutes of music in the morning and 10 minutes before they go to bed. And we tell people that it takes about a week to 2 weeks to start seeing with that time. And then a lot of people will dive in deeper and go to like an hour or 2 hours a day of meditation with the frequency minded music. And, you know, someone who's really trying to heal from a disease or from an illness, that's what I would suggest. And then someone who's just trying to keep balance and keep focused on positive things and moving forward in their self-care, I would say 10 minutes in the morning, 10 minutes at night. So it's not a huge commitment. There's not a huge monetary investment. It's just basically setting that willpower and, you know, designating the time for it. So
yeah, it sounds like a very good self-discipline to have.
Yeah.
How did you start it? Because in the description that I received, they said that you started with it while you were homeless. Did I get it right? And that you healed yourself. So I'm a bit curious about it. If it's okay with you to share with us, I will be happy to hear.
Yeah. So when I first started this company, I was homeless, and I, you know, was about $60,000 in debt from doctor bills. I was in mainstream, back and forth between mainstream doctors. I ultimately was diagnosed with MS and colon cancer, 2 different doctors. And there was, you know, some debate as to which one. You know, one doctor said, well, I see those symptoms and I see these things are present, but I'm really shifting. This is where I'm leaning, you know, towards. And it was very scary. It was kind of a dark night of the soul. I had already, you know, I got sick, lost my job, lost my car, lost my, you know, the place I was staying. All of those things happened within, you know, a 3 to 4 month period. And, you know, I remember sitting, you know, outside one day and saying, okay, God, you got my attention, you know, like it was like, it was, you know, I was always the person that was hustle bustle and working all the time and, keeping my mind busy. And I wasn't doing self-care for myself, you know? And so I think that it took that, the universe, God, however you want to look at it, stripping all of that away from me to actually take notice and realize that I needed to listen and to kind of tune in, and to move through energy that was stagnant in my body. There was things that had happened, you know, death of family members, death of really close friends. There was a lot of transitioning and things that I should have gone through, like mourning, that I didn't. I just, you know, suppressed it and pushed it down and kept going through my life. And so this was a dark night of the soul for me, but it was also a time of release work. And when I started using the music, it was, you know, this, just like I'm telling you, 10 minutes in the morning, 10 minutes at night. And then I dove in even deeper. It was about 2 hours a day of meditation. And I just really wanted to heal myself. I was so sick of being sick. You know, I was tired of being tired and just fed up with all of it. And so I started doing the mindfulness techniques. I read 2 really powerful books, The Healing Power of Sound by Dr. Mitchell Gaynor and Louise Hay, You Can Heal Your Life. Both of those books were just at the right place at the right time, and it just connected for me to dive deeper. And so within about 2 weeks to 3 weeks, I saw a big change in my mental clarity, my focus. And then within a month to 2 months, I was already losing weight. And there was a definite change in my perspective of life. You know, I started being more positive and trying to come out of the victim mode and trying to move forward in a way of like, what is it that you want to do with your life? And I said, I want to use music, art, and poetry as tools to connect with people. And I want to use it for inspiration and healing for myself and for other people. And that's really the foundation of Listening to Smile. And, you know, the company was born. It took me about a year to get back on my feet, you know, from being homeless. But I got my own apartment, my own car, and just started growing the company. Within 2.5 years, I started an affiliate program. And then the last 2.5 years, that's grown internationally. We're in 7 different countries. Right now, we are just outside of Pittsburgh. We came here to this area to meet with Carnegie Mellon University with research with our music. And it's just, we found some investors for our company, and it's just grown, you know, even more while we've been in this area. So it's just something that saved me. And it's through being able to share that experience with people has helped other people overcome some of their issues and even diseases to move forward in their healing.
This is an amazing story, and I'm always grateful when I have the chance to talk with people like you, because you are simply an example that it is possible to heal yourself. I used to say to the people that I work with that if we have the power to make ourselves sick, of course we have the power to heal ourselves. So we just need to get rid of the causes that caused our health issues. And the causes are not viruses, bacteria, and pathogens. The causes are always at the mental level, which affects our emotional level, which will affect our body. And of course, when the body is affected, then it becomes like a farm for bad viruses and bacteria and whatnot. So I'm very grateful that you shared your story with us so that more people can be inspired and really understand this fundamental idea we have, the ability to heal ourselves. So thank you for sharing this with us.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. It was really awesome.
So when you work with people, is there any? So you said that you compose the music, or that you put together the music using different frequencies, because we know that everything is a form of energy. And I'm joking with my students. I don't call them clients. I call them students. So I'm joking with my students, telling them that the holistic yoga system, I'm practicing yoga and some other things as well. But in the holistic yoga system, it has been said for almost 6,000 years that everything is energy. But the modern people, they want a scientific proof. So thanks God for Einstein, who proved that everything is a form of energy. So now we have the scientific proof. So because of that, we know that every internal organ has its own frequency. Every state of consciousness has its specific frequency. Where do you find them? How do you what is your source of finding these frequencies, if I may ask, and how do you incorporate them into your music? If it's not a trade secret, then don't tell me.
Yeah. So what we do is we take the root frequency of whatever we're working with. So let's say we're working with 528, which is a C note in tune to A equals 444. So if you tune to A equals 444 and you play the C note, and you're going to, it depends on what instrument you're on, but it's just above, it would be just above middle C on the piano. And so basically what we're doing with that is we're taking that frequency as a foundation, then we do a mid octave and a bass octave, and we blend those together. So it's like a tritone, but not tritone in a musical term, just the three tones blended as one, so that it actually sounds like one note. And then that's the foundation that we're starting with. The way that they're panned, we pan left to right. So you have, like, let's say we were doing 100 hertz in the left speaker and 104 hertz in the right speaker. So it would set up kind of a binaural beat that would create a theta pattern brainwave. But then we're also using a mono beat in the center brain. So it's three patterns that are there. And then we build the music around that and tune the instruments to whatever frequency we're working with. So if we were using 528, which is in 444, we would tune all the instruments to A equals 444, and then record the song, lay the melody and harmonies and all the, music together. And then basically that is that tritone, those three tones are the basic subliminal, from start to finish of the song. So when a lot of people are listening with headphones, they'll say, your music sounds so much more full. It's like, it's very big sounding, or it's, and so we always say that it's subtly epic. That's our favorite word, is that we want it to be something that's soothing and gentle, but we also want it to be a powerful experience that sticks with you more than just a 15 minutes after, but like a week after, you're telling people like, hey, I listened to this music and it was a powerful experience. It was subtly epic, so that's our word that we like to use. But basically that's the foundation of 90% of the songs. Sometimes we have binaural beat albums, and sometimes we'll do some pure tone albums, and they're a little different, but most of the music is created with that in mind. And then basically how I find the information is I have watched a lot of documentaries on Royal Raymond Rife. I've got books on Royal Raymond Rife, and then also people like Jonathan Goldman, Tom Kenyon. These are like probably some of the most famous sound healers worldwide. Tom Kenyon's kind of more of an independent, but Jonathan Goldman's on the Hay House. Has several books and shares his information. Dr. Leonard Horowitz put out the book of 528 and is really responsible for bringing the solfeggio to the general public through a lot of his work. And then just studying Pythagoras and Tesla and looking into research that they were doing, as well as just research that has been done on them as individuals and brought forth to the public. And so it's a lot of reading. It's definitely a lot of reading, and also a lot of experimentation on myself, as well as working with other people in the company. And then working with our affiliates who are working with people worldwide, and just getting the testimonials back from people. So when we put our albums out, inside the liner notes, it says like, this information is both scientific and pulled from clinical as well as ancient practices. And then it goes through and it says the foundation of this work is not only through Ian's personal exploration and healing, but also working with client testimonials and feedback from the clients that we're working with. So it's basically an assortment of all of those brought together as one. Basically personal studies, the experimentation on myself, and then also working with all the different research and getting feedback from clients. So that's where the information comes from. And on our website, listeningtosmile.com, there's a sacred frequencies page, and it's just a reference page for people. It's free information. You can go on there and read. It has about the planetary frequencies, the solfeggio, the Schumann resonance. It's some of the body frequencies, vocal toning, all of that stuff is on there that they can read and find out more information for free.
I think it's the best marriage, science and spirituality, because then you cover all spectrum of what implies to be a human being. And just as a suggestion, I don't know if you read the book written by Dr. Hulda Clark. She has pages and pages of frequencies in it as well.
Okay, cool.
So I think it's called The Cure for Everything.
The Cure for Everything.
I
Cool.
think, but it's Hulda Clark, and
Okay.
she has simply continued the research of Dr. Rife and
Hmm.
put in that book pages and pages of frequencies for different for different things, for different pathogens, but also inner organs and so on. So
That's
just
awesome.
one more source of information.
Yeah, I love learning, so I'm always up for checking out something new.
So if people would like to find you and get in contact with you, you named your webpage. I will also put a link in the episode, but what is the best way for them to get into contact with you?
Yeah, so Ian at listeningtosmile.com is my email address, and people can send me an email there. Listeningtosmile.com is the website. And then if anyone is interested in working with this music in their practice, we have a form on the website at listeningtosmile.com. There's a meditation affiliate. And what that allows them to do is, a lot of people don't realize that it's against the law to use Spotify playlists in a business without having the license for it. So what we do is we give proper permissions to use our music in their business. They also have resale privileges where they can resell it to their clients. And then they also are able to use it in their advertisements and promotions on social media. For videos and things like that. And a lot of people are using it for podcasts and things like that to put music in there that's healing. So it just gives them the proper permissions and the license to use the music. And that's basically a majority of who we're working with is one-on-one clients with coaching, what we call personal frequency coaching. And then working with affiliates who are basically holistic practitioners using it. And then they get the training to host these, what we call sonic meditations, and to use the music in their practice. And so they can just go to listeningtosmile.com.
It sounds amazing, and it is very inspiring for me because I'm helping also people eliminate stress, make their life better, and I'm also using, my husband is using the sound healing. So definitely I see the potential for future collaboration. I hope that you will have us as
Yeah.
collaborators,
Okay.
because I really believe that this is the future for healing. These type of therapies which are non-invasive, which are actually teaching people to rewire their brains and tap into the infinite reservoir so that they can use their potential in the right way.
Yes. I believe, from what I've seen in the last 5 years, I truly believe that anyone can heal from anything with nutrition and the right mindset. And the mindset can be helped by tools like sound healing, intention setting, and just their focus. And so I think that music is a great tool that can pair with anything to help with the mindset, to be in a different space.
Absolutely. So what would you like to have as a last message for our listeners and viewers?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that I would love to leave with them is that it's very easy to do this. This is something you can do at home with headphones. This is something you can do with your own voice, just by going om, however you pronounce it. But everyone's different. But just basically spending that 10 minutes in the morning as soon as you wake up and 10 minutes at night right before you go to sleep, either vocal toning or listening to frequency music with headphones. And people always ask, what is the best frequency to start with? And my favorite frequency is 528 for sure. But I also like 111 hertz. So 111 hertz or 528 are great starting frequencies. And a lot of people even love 432. So, those three frequencies I would start with and just spend 10 minutes in the morning, 10 minutes at night, just doing that self-care, that unplugging. And it's very simple to do. And I think, 1 to 2 weeks, everyone will see input that, puts the time in. I mean, we'll see the change if they put the time in.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for being my guest. It was a super interesting and inspiring talk that we had. And for our listeners and viewers, I wish you a stress-free, happy life. And until next time, take care. Subscribe and get access to all the training videos, those already published and the ones on their way. I wish you a wonderful day.